2, 1. All right, Albie. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You look very pretty today. Barely saw each other today.
I know. Passing in the night.
Barely saw each other today. All right. So where shall we start? Okay, I'm going to start. Let me start. This is probably not where the heat is, but you're probably more calibrated to where the heat is. But I'm going to start right over here. And just because I need to. I thought I was a little rough on them. People who cut the line last night, Alice.
Okay. They needed to dig a ditch and then be shot. That part?
Yes.
That you felt maybe that was a little extreme?
So I'm going to go over here to the CNN package on debt forgiveness, and I'm going to try to hold my stuff together. Did you send this to us originally?
Yes.
Okay.
It may take a little longer, but Cody Hunanian is still expecting a third of his student loan to be forgiven.
It's a light at the end of the tunnel.
First of all, F you, Cody Hunanian. It's a light at the end of the tunnel because I've been picked out as one of the special Americans who gets debt for forgiveness. How do you this guy's obviously a millennial. If you're a man and you're saying I need a light at the end of the tunnel for your debt relief, you are an absolute pansy if you're a man and you're saying that. I mean, it is so like weak to me. I am from a wretched generation as well.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you have any self-respect? Cody Hunanian, it's a light at the end of the tunnel that I'm going to get my debt relief taken care of. This total man itch-bay. It's incredible.
He's referring to President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program that would cover $10,000 of his student debt. Because while he's been out of college for 9 years...
He's been out of college for 9 years and he has $30,000 in debt, and we're supposed to feel terrible for it. How do you still? Whatever, it's fine.
Cody Hunanian, light at the end of the tunnel guy. Pay down your $30,000 of debt with some of the money you're making from the college you got that you now want to make us all pay for. Your college was so crappy and so sucky, Cody Hunanian,
that you can't pay off $30,000 in debt.
Right, but you still want it paid off, but now by me instead.
Right.
I didn't get Cody Hunanian's degrees.
Can I tell you?
I didn't get to go to the frat parties he got to go to or hook up with the sorority girls Cody Hunanian did. But I'm paying for him to have done that now.
Can I tell you who would be able to pay their own way out of $30,000 of debt? Somebody who went to a Vogue and became a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter or any other job.
Else $30,000 is not a lot of money.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he's doing as his career.
Well, you're gonna know.
Now.
You're gonna know very shortly, Alice.
Okay.
You're gonna know very shortly.
All right, let's go. Hit me.
I'm very displeased with Cody Hunanian.
Okay.
Very.
He still owes $30,000.
I'm recently married. Me and my wife are going to be thinking about purchasing a home.
Well, don't let us get in the way of your home purchase, Cody Hunanian. Can you imagine the entitlement?
Mm-hmm.
I'm recently married, so I want all the stuff that comes with being the married stuff. And I was 10 years ago. He wanted all the stuff that comes with college, and he got it.
Also,
but that's
just
on
out
us.
of curiosity.
Hold on. Do we have to pay for the wedding too?
Well, that was going to be my next question: is how much he spent on his wedding? Because most people now spend. I think the average is well over $30,000.
So Cody Hunanian and neither he nor Mrs. Hunanian can manage to pay what they rightfully owe.
Nope,
they can't make a payment.
Can't do it. They also haven't.
By the way,
to pay
who
in
the freak
2
is
years.
marrying that deadbeat loser? I'm looking for a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, you know what the key to that is, in the way the system goes is that you build your own light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
You get yourself there. I'm just waiting on President Biden's debt relief. You disgraceful POS. That's the person who's carrying the tray at your expensive wedding. They're paying for your college.
Right.
I am Alice. We're now back on that field with shovels and men with rifles.
But the people who cut in line now get a pass?
No.
Because you need Cody to be in there first.
Cody is back in the field with us.
So it's all of a sudden kind of right in front of me again because I'm thinking about the kind of debt I have.
It's all of a sudden? It's been 9 years. It's all of a sudden kind of right in front of me again.
Well, it's been 9 years, but he hasn't had to pay for the last 2.
Right.
So
and because in 2007, guess what was all of a sudden right in front of him every day?
A college professor?
College, exactly. All the fun was all of a sudden right in front of him every day. But he is so inept that Tom Shattuck, who didn't get to go to college, I now get to pay for college, though. Because Cody Hunanian is stressed out and wants the light at the end of the tunnel.
You need to get you your Harvard Dad t-shirt.
Yeah, get me that. Who came up with it? That couldn't have
I
been us. Was it really? That's smart. You're way behind on t-shirts, my friend.
Okay. Jeez.
And I need to finance my future and get a home.
Wait, so,
You do?
Does he know how big a down payment is for a house? Because I don't understand where he's going to get a down payment for a house if he can't pay off $30,000 in debt.
Yeah, but also, Alice, what kind of man is saying, well, I need to get a down payment for That's your fucking problem, Cody. I need to get a down payment for... Oh, you know what? I need to pay off my white car with the donut that has one windshield wiper. I need to do it, everybody. In other words, cough it up. I need a light at the end of the tunnel.
We did pay off your donut car,
yes,
by
it
the way.
is paid off. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it got paid off. You know how it got paid off?
We made payments on it until
Right.
until they stopped sending us the bills.
And in what form was that debt that we owed right in front of us? Just about for me every month.
A phone call.
Correct.
Usually.
I would get a call from the Lawrence
Because
Cooperative.
They didn't allow us to pay online, so
Guy named Don who would say, "I need you to make a payment, Tom. I need you to
I
make a
don't
payment."
really put up with places that don't allow online payments because I'm a millennial.
Well, I don't
Speaking
understand
of
how that was allowed to be right in front of me, so up close.
Yeah, just
It
suddenly.
was a big stressor. And actually, the car is actually used for things like commerce and delivering kids places, whatever. It's useful.
But while the administration was expected to start granting loan discharges as
Get back
early
to
as
Cody.
Sunday, a federal appeals court put a temporary administrative hold on the program, a move being argued in and
I can just
out
imagine the assignment desk like phoning down to the producer who's at Cody's house and say, "Can you get 3 more minutes of Cody being a bitch, please?"
of the courtroom. USC economics professor Robert Deacle says that
Wish I
while
could skip
all
past
his
this,
students support the program, he asks them to consider different perspectives.
Relative to defense spending and the overall government budget, the annual cost is not huge. But it's going to be a burden on current taxpayers.
He also says if the goal is to help low-income families, the government should instead invest in, say, early childhood education.
So this actual professor, CNN hates to do it, but he actually gets to what should be the lead of this whole thing eventually.
As an economist, Deacle says he thinks short-term loan forgiveness will only make inflation worse. But as a professor, he believes long-term this will make the U.S. more competitive.
We need people with skills, and the way to get it.
Do you think it's smart or dumb for the professor to be promoting
more student loans?
Exactly, for his
well, of
college.
course, because
Yes.
how does the professor get paid?
Right, but
but it's a little bit rich of him to say that we need people with skills to make our economy stronger when he's graduating morons like Cody.
Exactly.
who I'm
We've all met Cody
absolutely
Hunanian at this
zeroed.
point.
Yeah.
It is in higher education.
And it's that education that Hunanian says got him to where he is today. Now the executive director of the Student Debt Crisis Center.
That is the answer to what is Cody Hunanian doing.
Cody Hunanian is out trying to get money for Cody Hunanian.
He works, for some reason, the Student Debt Crisis Center doesn't pay all that much. But that's what he's choosing
What is
to do.
his degree in? Does he say it anymore?
I don't know. Cody Hunanian. But that's what he is. He's working in this activist group as some kind of school justice movement guy. Cody Hunanian is. But he wants to be able to do that and feel good about that because he's really making a difference, which he's not, of course. But at the same time, while he gets to go have fun, he wants you to pay his bills for him. And you have to do that because they keep being right in front of him, which is stressing for him, and he's trying to get married and buy a house. That's on us now, because I have a fourth son named Cody now, who's in his mid-30s.
A nonprofit focused on ending the
Hey, just 1 second. Hey, fuckface, how about you get another job? Okay, and let's stray a little bit from your nonprofit focused on student debt relief.
I also
and have
think
you
it's
get
sort
a
of
GD
embarrassing.
job.
I also think it's sort
Alice,
of embarrassing when people do nonprofits
hold
they're
on,
the
hold on.
recipient of the money for
Yes,
the nonprofit. Like, I find that a little bit awkward.
If you're gonna do it right, like the ladies who Patrice Colors, like the Black Lives Matter people, and steal money by the hundreds of millions. Do it the right way. There's a way to grift. This guy sucks at being a grifter. I mean, this guy just took. How can a woman say to herself, you know what? I want to have my future with that man, and I want the offspring of that man. Because how could she want to procreate with that? Because he's nothing but a net debit on the world. Nothing. You know the thing where George Bailey, the person says, you'd be worth more dead than alive, George. Well, and it wasn't true, but it is true with Cody Hounanian.
That would be a very different version of It's a Wonderful Life.
I've seen the video. Yeah, it should end 10 minutes in. He goes off the river. There's no Clarence. I'm seeing the video now, and nobody told me that I have Richard Simmons' afro, which is excellent. That's exactly what I was hoping for at this point in my life. Let's go back to Cody Hounanian.
Morgan likes your hair. He's always complimenting it.
Okay, here we go.
student debt crisis.
For me, the only way to open the door was to take on student loan debt.
No, he's acting as if he's achieved something. Cody, you exploded on the tarmac, and the rest of us now are doing cleanup for you. For me, the only way to open the door, you didn't open the door. You didn't open the door.
Even though it's created really unnecessary challenges and, we've had to be stressed and all of that, but...
Can you imagine? You know what it is? Any kid named Cody's a little a-hole millennial. The whole Cody era, little a-hole era.
To be fair, people graduate. Well, he probably is. This Cody probably is a millennial, but I think there's Codys that are Gen
Codys.
Z too. No, but Gen Z.
When I was a kid, let me
people
tell you
make
something.
this mistake a lot, and it bothers me because millennials are all like in their 30s and 40s now. People who are like 20 are Gen Z.
Dating Alice?
Not a Cody.
Who's she dating?
A Mike.
Yep, done. Mike. It's perfectly ordinary. That means that when the mother of Mike said, I think he's going to be the most special boy in the world. Let's name him Cody. Mike's dad said, nope. Mike, that's it. That's it. If he's going to be special, he's going to find a way to be special. We're not going to give him a special name to make him special. He's just simply Mike. And so he's got to go out and make Mike mean something. Make Mike,
As people with a kid named Cyril, I don't think we should necessarily go after other people's names.
We picked two vanilla names too, Alice.
Okay.
Let me tell you one thing.
In fairness, I didn't think the name Cyril was weird.
I knew a guy named Cyril. I thought it was a cool name.
I've read books with
Why
Cyrils.
Why are we on the defense here? We're on the offense, Alice.
Well, I think it was people found it more difficult than I anticipated because I just was familiar with
I would
the name
know that
Cyril.
in a second. It's like you have an appointment as another kid who's got an interview today. His name is Cody. It's like we don't have to interview him.
My future is brighter nonetheless.
Now,
brighter? What do you mean? It can't be darker, Cody. You're at zero. You've done nothing. You are nothing. Your future is brighter. Well, I guess in a sense that eventually you'll die. I guess that's brighter for all of us. Here's Cyril, as a matter of fact. Hi, Cyril.
Hi.
Is he not talking to us?
I guess not.
he's not only waiting for his loan forgiveness.
He's waiting for his loan. So Cody, by the way, is not going to be paying anything.
So, and let me just ask one more question here about Cody. Do we think that if somehow the courts screw up and this $10,000 of debt forgiveness is allowed to go through, and he gets his $10,000, is the student debt crisis center gonna close up shop since they will have achieved what they wanted? Or is it going to turn out that there's actually a lot more work to be done in the student debt crisis?
I liked it on his LinkedIn. It says Cody Hunanian is executive director at the Student Debt Crisis Center. Yeah, Cody Hunanian is a dude in a room. He can be the executive director all he wants. There is no directors meeting or all staff meeting. Cody Hunanian
should just be renamed the "Give Me Some of Your Money" crisis center.
My name is Cody, and my mother thought I was really special, and I believed her.
I mean, I guess it seems a little more special than just making a GoFundMe.
Cody Hunanian, executive director at Student Debt Crisis Center, debtcrisis.org. Sometimes author...
How many employees do they have on
Listen
LinkedIn?
to this, Alice. Sometimes... Oh, that's a great point. Sometimes author at The Nation in Fortune magazine. 40 under 40? 40 under 40.
Who's 40 under 40, though?
He
the
says
Nation's 40 under 40?
I guess so. He says, this guy, 40 under 40, this guy is the very definition of a loser.
Right.
It says, ask about my favorite Beatles song. This is what makes me want to punch him in the head. Ask about my favorite... Guess what, Cody? That's not clever. Either is the Student Debt Crisis Center, debtcrisis.org. There is nothing about you that is anything but sucky.
So, do they have more employees on LinkedIn?
Oh, let me see. I was on his Twitter page. I'm feeling violent behaviors, Alice.
I'm sorry about that.
Ooh, a lot of pushback against our yesterday's episode, Alice, and the entire
Mixed reviews.
fair.
Mixed reviews.
Yesterday, I thought it was a great show. I mean, I don't think I don't go around saying most shows were great, but I thought that we hit a lot of good stuff. It was nice raw. I mean, you were ticked off and mildly unprofessional, but I was good. Okay. Cody Hunanian, Executive Director, Student Debt Crisis Center. Okay, here we go. SDCC.
The Student Debt Crisis Center.
View all 6 employees. There's 6 employees there. Oh, they've all got masks on.
Are they all executives?
Let me see.
Or do they have, like, staff?
Oh, it wants me to sign in. Just let me in. I'm going to continue as Alice, as a matter of fact. Just let me in freaking LinkedIn. I go to LinkedIn once a year. Just let me in now, please. Tom Shattuck, that is not. This is becoming a problem.
I'm sorry.
Just let me into the account.
Maybe I can get there. The SDCC. People. Let's see. Borrower Outreach Coordinator. President at College Democrats.
There's one. Brian Schepter.
Director of Borrower Outreach. Executive Director. Borrower Outreach Coordinator. So, yeah, they seem to all have officers. They don't appear to have, like, a staff. So. But, you know, this whole thing is so insane that Biden just decreed this and we're supposed to... And it costs billions and billions of dollars. Like, this is not a small amount of money that this costs. The idea that the president can just spend that amount of money by forgiving debt just unilaterally is completely insane. Hopefully the courts throw this out soon, and hopefully Biden gets impeached for this once Republicans take control of Congress again, because it's absolutely nuts from a policy perspective. And like, you know, Morgan pointed out in the chat, and this is true, I did send us this audio. Did you see the stuff about Biden's like fantasy land of how student debt relief, quote, got passed?
No, let me see.
It's a little up in our thread, like right above Ted Cruz on The View.
I've been in the car. Ooh. Oh, no, it's a man.
What?
Damn it. In our thing, you put the trans person
Yep,
there.
you were just tricked.
Yeah. Damn it. Wish it wasn't so effective. I stand with Buckley Carlson.
Can you just go to Biden? I think it's below Buckley Carlson in the thread.
Yale, Harvard, totally capture the media there, apart from Tom Shattuck. Oh, there's Biden. Okay, that really. Okay, Jake Schneider. Okay, give me a second.
So, yeah, because Biden is obviously like, I mean, we talked about this a little yesterday too, but he's very, he's very not lucid. Like, how to put this? Like, I don't think he's running again in 2024. Although that would be incredible if they did run him again in 2024.
The other piece, what we're trying to do is, you probably are aware, I've just signed a law that's being challenged by my Republican colleagues. The same people who got PPP loans for up to close to, in some cases, up to $500,000-$600,000. They have no problem with that. The individuals in Congress got those. But what we've provided...
Pretty damn cynical stuff, but
Yeah,
they got the
they
talking
got them
point.
to pay their employees when you wouldn't let their businesses
They didn't
be
mind getting
open.
tax refunds, but they don't want us to give away college.
They didn't mind, what's it called? Like the mortgage tax deduction. Like, okay, but this is obviously a slightly different scenario.
For is, if you went to school, if you qualify for a Pell Grant, you qualify for you qualify for $20,000 in debt forgiveness. Secondly, if you don't have one of those loans, you just get $10,000 written off. It's passed. I got it passed by a vote or two, and it's in effect. And already a total of, I think it's now 13 million people have applied for that service.
Now, if he's saying I got it passed by a vote or two, implies legislation?
Yes, he's saying he said at the beginning that it's a law that he got passed, that he signed it. So he has a whole paragraph. It's not just like, oh, the law about the student debt relief, he in passing or something. He actually has this whole fake scenario in his mind where a law got passed by a vote or two, and I mean, it's not out of context. This is actually what he said. So I mean, the question is, so there's some people on Twitter who's like, oh, he's confabulating a little bit. They're trying to, make excuses for him. But he's actually just
How come I never heard that Trump was confabulating?
He's actually just either lying, which he's done his entire political career and comes really naturally to him, or he doesn't know how student debt relief happened, which is also plausible to me. So that's kind of a problem. I don't know. I really question if he's going to run in 2024. However, I wouldn't put it past Ron Klain and Jill Biden to shove him into it. Would you?
Shove him into running again?
Yeah.
That's what you hear.
I mean, I can't believe people around him haven't done something yet about this whole situation with him. But it seems incredible. Meanwhile, on the Republican side, there continue to be incredible polls for Republicans right now. So this is in New Hampshire Senate. A poll just came out that shows Maggie Hassan up by 1 point, 48-47. And now Don
Bolduc is the guy who got Schumer money, right?
Yeah, he got funded by the DCCC to over a more moderate Republican,
and now you've got people like we played Kate Hart last night. We did, right?
Mm-hmm. They're
Kate
still
Hart,
scared.
Who's so scared because
election deniers.
Right. Well, Don Bolduc is one of those guys
who the Democrats funded,
How
and now
beautiful.
if he wins that race,
how beautiful.
I mean,
I'm all for it. I'm for it. I don't care if all the Republicans who win because they got Democratic money all had antlers on January 6th. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if that race is that close, they're going to lose a bunch of other races too. I think, I was looking at the numbers. I think they're probably going to end up with around 54 seats at this point in time. There was also, and I think we're still not seeing the full extent here. So another state to watch is Florida with Ron DeSantis in it, because that's obviously going to be really important in 2024 for that election. And the polling out of Florida is absolutely bonkers right now, completely nuts. So this is an NBC Telemundo poll. So this is not a Rasmussen, a Fox News poll, or a Trafalgar Group poll that everybody's been yelling about recently. According to a new NBC Telemundo poll, DeSantis leads by 7 among Hispanics in Florida. He lost Hispanics by 10 in 2018, last time he won.
Yeah.
He's winning 72% of Cubans. He's up 22 points with Hispanic independents. He's got gains with Puerto Ricans, is winning non-Cuban Latin American voters by 10, and 50% of Hispanic voters in Florida favor the migrant relocations that he did that caused the Biden administration to change their policy on the Venezuelan migrants. There are people saying that he could win Miami-Dade County right now because the Hispanic shift is so huge in Florida at this moment in time, which would be unheard of if so. He's going to blow out Charlie Crist in November.
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
like, I don't.
Charlie Crist is Cody Hunanian.
I mean, yeah. So they have a debate tonight, I think, too, which I'm kind of intrigued to see some cuts come out from there because it's the fact that he's up so much in that state right now, and in particular the gains he's made with Hispanic voters after like they all hyperventilated and were like saying that the migrant flights that's really gonna cost him. There are a lot of Venezuelans in Florida, blah 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 blah. But now it turns out they're all saying that that actually this is all just because Latinos have too much proximity to whiteness, of course. So
Sorry, Latinos. You stepped foul of the progressives, so you are all now guilty now.
Jamel Hill was all over
You had
this
the chance to be
too.
Latinx, you didn't take it. You decided to be Americans, and the left is mad.
So,
now.
like, this political guy, Chris Evans, not like the actor Chris Evans, he tweeted, Ron DeSantis is so popular among Florida Latinos, he may win Miami-Dade, something a Republican governor has not done in 20 years. And Jamel Hill tweeted, that proximity to whiteness is a real thing. Also reminds me of an adage I heard a long time ago about how the oppressed begin to take on traits of the oppressor.
I am very surprised she had a take that included racism this time. It's weird for her. She's a very talented person. Very talented person. She is actually Cody Hunanian when you have an identity that's especially in vogue. Because she's also useless, but is a millionaire.
Yeah.
He's useless and is a thousandaire. I am also a thousandaire. Wait, no, I'm not actually. By the way, our debt on this house, which is like $600,000, is very upfront and right there continuously for me.
I know.
For more
it's
than
very
5
problematic.
years. Yeah.
I'm wondering when somebody's going to do something about it. And supposedly Brady's texting with DeSantis too.
I saw that. You don't want this version of Brady. He seems to be.
He's a little odd, yeah. But...
yeah, he's not good looking anymore. I like my QB's good looking.
I don't know.
Should I play this Crowder audio or no?
Well, it's just another one of this chick's stupid TikToks. I don't know. This dude's stupid TikToks where the guy that Biden had to the White House to explain to him about girlhood.
Hot girl summer. Hot girl summer. Day 75 of being a...
That's a dude right there was a dude in a bathing suit.
Supposedly
girl,
25.
I've been carrying around tampons and pads for the past 2 months, but I've actually never opened one up. So let's do it. I thought the letters stood for small, medium, and large based on the size of your Barbie pouch. My crotch doesn't look like other women's crotches sometimes because mine doesn't look like a little Barbie pocket. And we all just normalize women having bulges sometimes. Normalize the bulge. We are normalizing the bulge.
Only time it might be appropriate to say normalize
the bulge. Okay, you can stop there. That's fine. Because what I really wanted to get to was to ask you if you've ever heard a, quote, biological woman, or really any other woman besides this guy, refer to his private parts as a Barbie pouch. Have you ever heard a woman refer to her private parts that way?
No.
I mean, are we fetishizing a little bit, do we think?
Yes.
I mean,
I would say so.
This sick person, Biden had this person in the White House to talk to him about girlhood and how he's discriminated against for being trans.
Did Biden sniff his hair? Let me hear what Crowder has to say.
If you're speaking to a bunch of women who've grown up next to a radiation plant.
Look, take away the trans identity thing. If a person had made videos like that, I'd be like, yeah, you're on a watch list for not coming to the White House or anywhere near where the president is ever going to be.
Trump said instead of I grab him by the, if he would have said I like to grab him by the Barbie pouch, he wouldn't have been president.
No.
That's great. I am subscribed to Crowder. I haven't listened in a little bit though. I liked it when he had his lawyer on. A little bit more. That's neither here nor there for anybody, I guess. All right, where to now?
Yeah, let's hear Cruz, the one that's further down. Well, first they had to bleep part of the show because a member of the crowd was swearing at him.
Oh, Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he had a conversation with them about election denial.
This is Cruz on The View?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
So I'm going to... Oh, wow, that's great.
Try to say the election was fair and square and legitimate. You know who y'all don't do that to? You don't do it to Hillary Clinton, who stood up and said Trump stole the election.
They didn't storm the Capitol. They didn't try to kill my former
Abrams, who said that the election was stolen. They sat here and said it was illegitimate, and you guys were fine with it. Okay, so it's illegitimate when Republicans win, but not when Democrats win.
No, you know, here's the thing. We may not like when Republicans win, but we don't go and we don't storm. We don't try to change, but we'll go to the
Did I miss an entire year of Antifa riots where cities across this country were burning and police cars were being firebombed?
I guess you did.
Your position is the left doesn't engage in violence, really?
No, they wanted to nuke our friend Mike Pence. Like, how do we make sense of that?
You just accused us of doing something we didn't do. You said Hillary Clinton didn't say whatever she didn't say. I'm saying to you, listen.
And she said it's sitting here, and you were fine with her saying it was illegitimate for Republicans to win.
She called Donald Trump the next morning, and she conceded the election, Ted.
Okay,
took the call. As did Stacey Abrams.
All right.
She sat there while Donald Trump was getting
Clinton
sworn
says
in.
Trump is an illegitimate president. Hillary Clinton says the election is stolen from you. Hillary Clinton in 2002, George W. Bush was selected, not elected. Joe Biden, Al Gore was elected president. So Joe Biden claims George W. Bush was illegitimate.
Right?
Shut up, Anna. That show is single-handedly wiping
Cruz
out...
doubled the
IQ
IQ on the show.
That
just
show
by
is wiping
walking
out feminism itself. These are many dumbs, and they should not have a guy like Ted Cruz on there. I mean, it's the same thing if they had Ann Coulter on there. They'd all be destroyed intellectually as well. Wow.
But yeah, I can't believe they even had him on, actually.
I don't know if that's a good idea. If you have... like him on, you have Rand Paul. These guys are going to come in there and clean up. Wouldn't it be fun if that's what the show became?
Yeah, they just invite on people who beat them down. I mean, yeah, but I can't believe they had him on. It seems like not a good idea to me. If I were them, I wouldn't.
So here's where they cut the sound to go to commercial.
2 years ago, and I think for the vast majority of Americans, the answer is no.
Somebody said sleep here. Yeah.
So their audience is so polite and tolerant of differing viewpoints, I guess. I mean, and Ted Cruz is so innocuous. Ted Cruz isn't it's not like they had Michael Flynn on or something, who's holding these weird religious QAnon rallies right now. But
what's going on with Tucker?
Okay, so there's sort of a power vacuum, really in both parties of Congress right now, with it looking like the House is probably going to change hands. There's big questions about who's going to be in the leadership of the House, in particular on the Republican side, the majority whip. So there's a bunch of people. There's 3 different people supposedly vying for the position, and Tucker's son is the communications chief for one of them.
Oh.
So Buckley Carlson.
I think his brother's name is Buckley too, isn't it?
I think so. That sounds right. So his brother is the communications director for Jim Banks of Indiana.
His son or brother?
His son.
Okay.
His son, who's 24. And so there was a Daily Beast story on Friday that quoted a Republican strategist saying that Jim Banks is super establishment and using as an example, he hired Tucker Carlson's son to get in good with the sort of DC power players or whatever, which I don't know how.
No, it's smart, though.
Yeah, so I don't know. So the strategist said he dies to be liked by the establishment. He hires Tucker Carlson's son, a 24-year-old kid, to be his communications director. So, but then Tucker called up Emmer, who's the frontrunner for this majority whip position if the Republicans retake Congress. Tucker called up Emmer and said that he better say which staff member said that about his kid, or he's going to assume that it was him himself. And
Good.
Emmer denied his office was involved, but Carlson says he now has personal beef with him.
Good.
According.
You get no problemo with that.
So, and Donald Trump Jr. is saying that Emmer is attacking Carlson's son, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, "I stand with Buckley Carlson." So, I don't know. It's not exactly where I thought the Republican Party would be right now, but I'll take it. It's fine, I guess. I'm sure Buckley Carlson is great at his job.
Sure, and also, to be a communication director, give me a break. Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot of texting, is what it means.
So then one of the kind of last big things that I had was this tweet thread that I assume is just kind of a joke, but it went mildly viral, and there's a bunch of the replies on it are just incredible, where this person tweeted, "Last week somebody suggested 9 a.m. to me as a meeting time, and I laughed out loud. This is not the Navy. 9 a.m. is still snug as a bug in a rug hours. Please be serious."
I love that.
Does 9 a.m. work? Oh, sure. Let me get my scalpel since I guess I'm a surgeon now.
That's great.
Could we hop on a call at 9 a.m.? Yeah, that should work.
I hope that's real. Is it a woman, I hope?
No, it's a dude named Caleb Huron. Who I think is, his Twitter handle is Caleb Says Things, so I'm assuming he's some kind of aspiring comedian. Well, he has a lot of Twitter followers, so I guess not aspiring.
You have more than me.
270,000.
Jesus!
He ends up checkmark, too, so.
Damn it.
I don't know. So, yeah, but some of the
Does
replies...
Hunanian have a check mark?
So then in some of the replies, during an icebreaker, the question was biggest pet peeve. And I said, people who schedule meetings before 11 a.m. and after 4 p.m., especially on a Friday. And my boss immediately changed our weekly check-in from Friday 4 to 5 to Tuesday 11 to 12. And it's been great for my mental health.
All right. Thank goodness. Okay, good. Cody Hunanian does not have a check mark, and I have more followers than him. Okay, so we're
Thank
good.
goodness.
All right. Chat time, homie?
Sure.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, I'm John.
Oh, wait. Did we already play that one?
I don't know. We didn't play any yesterday.
Fetterwoman.
Yeah, I think
we did play that.
Alice.
Hi.
Do not say it, Alice. It rhymes with trigger. Alice, don't say it.
I didn't say
it. Rhymes with Nemo. Alice.
You wanted to say it.
Don't do it.
I didn't want to say anything.
It rhymes with ear plucker. Alice, to the moon, Alice.
You wanted to say it. It was an odd time for you.
I didn't want to say anything.
So I'm watching Tiny House Hunting, and it's this man and woman couple, and they can't. She wants a certain tiny house, and he wants another certain tiny house, and then she says to him, "I'll let you do that thing I told you I wouldn't do," and his eyes got big and goes, "Okay, we'll go with what you want."
What do you think the thing is?
I assume some kind of sex act.
Which one?
I don't know. Not something I do, probably.
I'm still smarting from an injury, so I'm going to walk quietly away from that one. That said, at the very end of this podcast, Listen and Alice does talk about her cleavage. Very glowingly, as a matter of fact.
No.
My goodness, Alice. Really? Really?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
And Alice, this is Mike from Cincinnati.
Do we know Mike from Cincinnati? Do I know? Do we? You? Me?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Hey, Mike.
I know Mike. Has he called in before?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Maybe.
How you doing, Mike? We're glad to have...
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, Cincinnati, I show as being in Ohio. What about you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like Cincinnati.
I think we have... There's definitely a couple that I know of that listens in Ohio. Maybe he's the other half of that couple. Because I think the wife has messaged us before.
About your Sunday night podcast, if I want to hear a couple arguing, I'll just stay at home. I listen to your show for some...
Hey, give me my phone back.
Oh,
are you going to call my sister?
I listen to your show for some entertainment and some insight. So let's keep it civil, please.
Wow. That's a shot at Alice's hard, harsh Boston accent. I want to hear that again. Whoa.
I listen to your show for
Hey, give me my phone back. Are you going to call my sister?
I listened to your show for some entertainment.
What a shot. Oh, the Lexington Yacht Bunny cannot be pleased with that. I have noticed your Boston accent developing.
I don't necessarily have a Boston accent per se.
No, I've noticed it. I've noticed it. Yeah. I thought, well, you were mad during the beginning of yesterday's show, but that's real. And we had a real thing that definitely we had to talk about. Definitely. And I mean, that show's done and gone. So we're on to Cleveland, on to Cincinnati, as a matter of fact. But yeah, no, I liked yesterday's show. I liked the fact that like it was very personal and real and raw at one point. And at one point,
and then we just had a normal show at other
points.
Right,
it was very just political, etc. And now we're pals again. We're not,
I know, so
we're enemy.
we're
And
over
the
it.
problem, you know what one of the problems is?
What?
Is that you look so good. You look so good. It's a problem. So
No, but I think it's actually good for our relationship that when we have fights, we like really have fights and we like get everything out there and clear the air, and then we're like good.
Yeah, I do too.
We like both say everything that we think, and then we're over it.
Yeah, no, we have blow-ups fairly often. I mean, that's not usually end with violence, but believe me, other than the fact that you tried to lock me out of my own sleeping room, and when I said I needed my CPAP machine, you said I should buddy breathe with my brother's machine. And the fact that I got a text today confirming a couples appointment, a therapy appointment, which is which you had almost gone through. And you didn't tell people that you had a dream that we were getting divorced.
Yes, I did.
Alice
we
had a
didn't
vivid
do the podcast. And
Yep,
like,
and
I dreamed the whole night. I woke up and we basically were divorced that morning in my
yeah,
mind.
believe me, I realized that. Holy, imagine being the third. Imagine being our poor neighbor still.
Dave is asking how's the neighbor in the chat.
He's still wearing the bloody outfit he had on that night. He looks catatonic.
He's
I saw
shuffling around.
Yeah, I saw him sipping iced tea today on his porch. He's just looking straight ahead, 1,000 yards there. Poor guy. Good guy.
Tommy, is your concerned burn barrel older brother? I have some advice.
Tommy from New Hampshire.
You're viewing the phone chucking event as a one-off reaction. Alice threw the phone and missed.
Yes, true.
Retrieved the phone, refired with deadly accuracy.
Yes.
She's pretty pissed off.
Yeah, that's true. Let me tell you something, Tommy. She did not find that funny.
I did not.
I can tell you, my forensic.
Nope.
My IG report is in, and yes, she did not see the humor in
The
that.
test screening of the sister is a bitch joke did not have the audience reaction that you were looking for.
But you know what's also disappointing is that like I didn't do anything after attempt 1. I just like mouth breathed and said, wonder what could possibly happen now. Meanwhile, you're Nolan Ryan up there winding up right in front of me again, like, has all the earmarks of somebody about to throw something hard at me. Something's approaching me now. That's absolutely true. As a matter of fact, it seems to be dead on for my skull. I'll just sit here and wait to see what happens. That is disappointing. But yes, let me tell you one thing, Tommy. There's a lot of stuff I get away with Alice that I would never have gotten away with any. Like, for instance, the girl from Malden who passed on the STD.
Mm-hmm.
If I had ever, like, groped her...
What are you trying to say?
When she's just trying to like make coffee, like some may say that I sometimes try to do. I would have gotten the carafe on the head. But Alice, you can almost get away. I can almost get away with everything. Everything. I'm shocked sometimes. Everything. But there are a few things where I find out afterwards that I must not get away from. Let me tell you one thing.
I think you could have figured out that I wouldn't have loved that joke.
I'm not going to get back into it. You're right, my dear. Let me tell you one thing. I will not be making that joke again. All right, let me ask you something. How come you're smiling and happy when you see my head scar?
I'm not smiling and happy because of your head
there's
scar.
not any part of you that said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and like kissed me or anything. You're fine.
It's really not that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's not that bad,
Our
then
kids are injured worse than that, like 3 times a day, and they're totally fine. They fall off a bike and get more hurt than that.
I'm relatively new to head wounds. Okay, so I guess if you say it's not that bad, that's fine. You must know.
Tommy, is your concerned burn barrel older brother? I have some advice.
You just played this.
You're viewing the phone chucking event as a one-off reaction. Alice threw the phone and missed. Retrieved the phone, refired with deadly accuracy. She's pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
I fear Alice, being the math genius she is
Yeah.
at the evaluation stage of your marriage. She's calculating divorce proceedings now versus years to raise the kids while tolerating you versus how many years until your inevitable demise. These scenarios simply are not looking good for you. If I were you, I'd get Alice and her sister a day of spa to salvage the situation. I wish you luck.
Let me tell you something, Tommy.
I really like
that formulation that he's talking about. Alice absolutely does. I can see it in her eyes when she looks at me.
It's not true.
Looks at the actuarial tables. Right. Okay. Don't worry about it.
A lot. I do love you a lot, and I like being with you almost all the time.
Yeah.
There are just some occasions, certain things that happen, like the other day.
I have noticed. There are certain things.
There was one that was a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't do that again.
Don't do that, please.
Okay. That's actually what your reaction could have been,
I was in a different mental space at the time.
Yes.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Phil.
Listen.
Yes.
Your bickering with Alice last night really was very upsetting to Julie and I.
Uh-oh.
And we just hope this isn't the beginning of the end of the Burn Barrel podcast with you two. I have to believe that you both are in the right.
Well, Phil, stop it.
We can't both be in the right. A bunch of people said that in the replies on the Twitter polls, too. They were like, but both are true. And I was like, no, you have to pick one.
Bros before hoes, Phil. Come on.
I took out my laughometer, Tom, and yes, this prank was funny. In fact, it registered just over 8.5 on the laughometer. So,
correct.
Tom, you're in the right. It was a very funny
Good
prank.
Man. You see? That's all. Well, no, I think we can end it there. I think that's...
He said, however. I don't think the message is over.
Alice, too. She was in the right. What? Because if she was offended, then she was offended. So do yourself a favor. Let's patch this thing up. Apologize to Alice.
I did.
We're patched.
And to make yourself really look good, give her sister a call and apologize to her, too.
Ooh, I did.
He actually apologized to my sister long before apologizing to me. And then used it as a cudgel to beat me over the head. Like, she said it's fine, so why do you have a problem?
Well, your sister actually got back to me on that yesterday, as a matter of fact, and sent me this text. Hi, Tom. I'm totally on your side on this, and as a matter of fact, thought the joke was hilarious. That's it. I cannot come on the podcast and betray my sister. So I get you. I get what you're saying, Jane. I appreciate that.
And let's get this thing behind us.
That thing is behind us. It's absolutely behind us.
It's just not right that you two are on the warpath.
We're not on the warpath. Want to hear something? Want to hear the truth, John? We were making out today. Maybe even yesterday. Is that possible, Alice?
I don't know about yesterday, but we were today.
Yeah.
Finally, I think to really bring this to a conclusion is that the both of you should get up in the middle of the podcast or during this chat and give each other a big hug and a kiss.
Nobody wants to see a fat guy kiss a pretty blonde.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Thanks a lot.
And not only that, if we did that, we'd break everything in the studio. So we can't really move during the show per se.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not advisable for Alice to be moving around in this studio for obvious reasons. But yeah, there's no doubt she talked crime. I mean, I may have to take a little responsibility for some of this stuff in particular because I am distracted. I thought that I heard Mike from. No, not Mike. From Merrimack.
Steve from Merrimack?
Steve. Did I not hear Steve? Is this one not Steve?
Hi. Yeah. Aunt Gloria from Merrimack.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Welcome back, Steve. Aunt Gloria. Jesus.
Really, really enjoyed today's show. I thought I tuned into Bill and Hillary Clinton's Burn Barrel podcast. Can't wait to dive into the extra content. Jesus, the only thing missing was a thrown lamp. Yeah, and then there was this interminable, awful segment which sounded very much like a romper room does Winchester.
What?
Okay, and I see Brian Taylor, and I see.
That was awful. I tried to steer him away from that, from his reading of the names of people who are friends with Darren Clemente.
That is incorrect. I'm just showing you that for somebody who's not on Facebook, a lot of people seem to think he's on Facebook because he's Facebook friends with them.
Maybe he friended them years ago.
Years ago. Well, you know what? I was around years ago, too.
Well, you didn't friend him years ago.
I've been around
You've been living down the street from him for 4 years and didn't bother to friend him until this year, so...
He and I graduated from Winchester in 1991. Mm-hmm. Facebook was born
2005.
16, 15 years later, whatever, right? He's had all the time in the world. All the time in the world.
Sounded very much like a romper room does Winchester. Okay? And I see Brian Taylor, and I see Nick DeLong.
Nick DeLong, that's right. Nick played drums for Lemur one night.
And I see Darren Clemente, and I see Raul Lipschitz, and I see Greg Brown, and I see Throat Warbler Mangrove.
Greg Brown is one.
Yeah. Alice, next time he pulls this BS, I'm sending you a case of phones. Start throwing. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
I saw a job posting on LinkedIn today. Ooh. It was for an R&D blade edge design engineer. And sounded like a cool gig, down in Gillette in South Boston and everything. That'd be kind of a fun commute. But I was just imagining the last question in the interview. It would be, so, sounds good. Do you have any questions for us? And I would be like, do you get called groomers a lot? That'd be tough. Okay, bye.
Well done, John. That is John in Wokefield. Well done.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Excellent chat. Now, everybody who called in that chat, please, call in again tomorrow. It's a nice smattering, although we can use more ladies, probably, right?
Probably.
Although,
well, Mike in Cincinnati's wife had a part to play on his message.
That's correct.
And a nice impression of my Boston accent, yes. I might say. So anyway, keep the chat messages coming. Those are at burnbarrelpodcast.com. There's a red button to record them there. You can also talk to us on social media at burnbarrelpod on Twitter, facebook.com/burnbarrelpodcast. Shoot us an email, burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com. And watch this show on YouTube or Rumble and listen anywhere you like to listen to podcasts.